loyal, brave, and true. It is my duty to protect my family.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Film Optix review brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network. I am your host, Christian, and today we are going to be reviewing the latest Disney Plus original movie. Finally, after 2 months of waiting, we were like, oh my gosh, Mulan is here. It's like, oh, we got to pay $30. It's like, okay, we thought about it. We're like,
bullet dodged.
Let's wait. Bullet dodged.
Oh my.
Exactly. Bullet dodged.
Arrow dodged.
Honestly, yeah, I'm very glad that we waited because it was like shortly after, the premiere access was going on. They're like, oh, by the way, it's also coming to Disney Plus free of charge to everyone's Disney Plus library in December. And it came out 4 days ago. And I mean, I'm glad that Disney was at least transparent with that instead of, getting all the money from the premiere and then like a few weeks later, like, oh, if you missed the premiere access, you can check it out. So I'm really glad they were being transparent about that at least, because I don't think anything good could have came from. I don't think anything good could have came from them, withholding that information. But of course, I'm joined as always by my co-host and my good friend Devin. How are you, man? We're all it's the season to fire up Disney Plus again.
Yeah, Mandalorian every week. Last episode was so good.
Yeah, it was. I think we got.
It's a god.
Yeah, I think we have 2 more episodes left.
Yeah,
of the Mandalorian. Man, time flies. It's crazy. It's been 4 weeks? 5 weeks? Has it been 10 weeks? Hasn't been 10 weeks
since what?
October, I think.
Well, it's been 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 episodes.
Okay. Oh, so it's only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually in favor of that because you wouldn't want too many filler episodes in there.
And there's only been really one filler episode, if you want to call the Ice Spider one filler.
Yeah. Yeah, other than that, I mean, honestly, every single episode I have enjoyed, especially those past 2. So, don't want to give it away too much if people haven't seen the newest episode, but it's definitely the shortest out of the bunch
but
and the most action
packed.
Yeah. So it's it's a good one for sure. But let's get into some housekeeping news here really, really quick. Of course, you can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Red Circle, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. Of course, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Film Optix. That is Optix with an X. We've been pumping out as much stuff as we can. We're getting towards the end of the year, towards the end of the wire. I have a crap ton of screeners to watch, and I don't know what I'm going to do with myself, Devin. It's very, very stressful, but we did find time to sit down and finally, of course, watch the live action film of Mulan. I'll just read the synopsis really quick, and I'll let you, talk about the cast and everyone else, because I think I could do it. Let's try this out. Okay. So, of course, the synopsis reads, if you haven't seen the original Mulan, it is about a Chinese maiden disguising herself as a male warrior in order to save her father. That is probably the short, sweet, simple answer, what's Mulan about? Boom, there you go. And of course, we have Donnie Yen, part of the cast, and Li Gong, and Yifei Liu as well, and is written and directed by Nick Caro and Rick Jaffa. He was part of the screenplay, as well as Amanda Silver. She was also a part of the screenplay. And of course, this is debuting or has debuted on Disney Plus. So I honestly assume every home in America and around the world has a Disney Plus subscription, as if they also have a Netflix subscription as well. So, man, so let's we'll dive into it. Of course, this is going to be spoiler heavy. It's been a while, and we haven't really talked about anything not just just to talk. I mean, I've been doing the, you know, his Dark Materials recap. Of course, you know, we do spoilers there, but it just feels good to let it all out. But all right, Devin. This movie has kind of had a bit of a bumpy road, but I wanted to get your first initial thoughts on it, because you just watched it today, and I watched it a few days ago. So
yeah, I watched it a few hours ago, and it felt like it just ended now.
Yeah.
I really was not a fan of this. My first initial thought was I just kept thinking how lame it felt. Like it just took out all the comedic elements. They took out all the singing, all the songs, just all the life and soul of the original. Like I would say even more so than the Lion King.
Whoa, okay. Let me stop you right there, Devin. I will say the beginning of this film was a very rocky start. I was like, oh my gosh, I did not know if this was going to, you know, be as entertaining. I personally didn't think it was as bad as what everyone else was leading it out to be. The beginning, like I said, was a bit rough. But for me, it's like if you're just going to recreate the same exact movie, the same story beats, you know, same songs and whatnot, I'll just go watch the original. Excuse me, I'll just go watch the original, because that's the Mulan that I know. And clearly this Mulan isn't necessarily for our demographic. I believe it is a little bit more obviously geared towards kids. Kids are going to love
it.
This
geared towards kids at all. I think kids would not enjoy this at all. There's just there's nothing for them here. It's a war drama.
I mean, yeah, and that is the legend of Mulan as well. So I think they were trying to make it more accurate to not what really happened, but the legend of Mulan, because obviously phoenixes aren't real. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they took out pretty much any comedic element. Like there were like a couple joke attempts here and there, but there's just nothing. Like even with the Lion King remake, at least there's still songs to keep you engaged. Like,
I mean, yeah, there was, but I guess for me, I was looking for something different outside of the original. Like, I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like, it's definitely not like my favorite Disney remake. I'm not even sure if I have a favorite Disney remake. But usually, you know, we know with Disney, well, with the original Disney films, the songs usually, you know, progress the story. They progress the story, beats along. You know, they start off one place, they end up somewhere else.
Yeah, especially with Mulan, like those songs in the original movie are like iconic.
They are, and but I knew this was going to be a more serious take of Mulan. And I was like, I was okay with that. I was totally fine with that. I think that was at least, you know, because there's been so much criticism towards these remakes saying, oh, you know, they're exactly like the original, so why remake them overall? Personally, I feel like they could have remade these stories with just CGI, kind of how, you know, there's Tangled, Frozen, of course. So I feel like maybe with that type of animation, it would have done a lot better. I do agree that, you know, it did try to be funny at times. Didn't always land. But I just like I guess what I really liked about this film was the just the overall message of, you know, family. Obviously, you know, it is a man's world. You know, women during that time were treated nothing but essentially property, and you know, it seemed that their only destiny in life, or their only job in life, was to, you know, bear children for their husbands. But of course, we know the trials and tribulations that Mulan goes through. It is a bit of a twist because, of course, there's the witch, which, you know, it's more of, they talk about the chi element, and it's like, oh, if a woman has too much chi, they can be considered a witch, or they can turn into a witch. I wasn't 100% clear. Did you catch that at all?
I could not tell you. I was struggling to get through it.
Oh man. Okay. What was okay? All right. Let's. At first, I will. Like, there were parts like during, like I said, I would say maybe the first, maybe 30 to 40 minutes. I was like, like there, like during the middle, I kind of enjoyed it a little bit more. But then it kind of. It was okay. Like I said, I'm not like head over heels about this at all. What did you think of some of like the new characters or like the Hun, which is they call them something different. I was just gonna call them the Mongols because I've been playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima, but that is totally different culture, by the way, Japanese versus Chinese culture. But what did you think of the villains?
Well, I was also going to mention, ever since like the trailer started coming out, the issue I had with those was that there was no Mushu, but at the same time there were also other like magical type elements, like that witch who transforms and what was that, a dragon?
She transforms into like different things, like she's a hawk and everything else.
If you're willing to put that in the movie, like why not put Mushu or something like that in the movie? It's not
and that's what everyone's. Yeah, like that's what everyone's issue was. There was no Mushu, but I was okay with it. I don't know. I mean, because like I always know the original's
nothing
there.
to keep your attention, really.
I mean, there were times where I kind of like, checked my phone a few times, but I wasn't sure if it was because the movie was bad or if it was just. We already know what happens. We've watched this movie God knows how many times, and it's like we know what happens.
Like we know what happens. They didn't change the core story, but they also took away all the fun parts.
I actually did enjoy the score and how they turned that into what the songs were, but I honestly don't know why they didn't go down that road. It's not necessarily a like a strike for me. I do wish it was a little bit more engaging. I mean, the fighting sequences, if some shots I was like, looks really, really weird.
I was gonna say, I was gonna bring that up too. There were some shots that were actually pretty cool, but there were just as many that were like clunky and weird looking.
Because like the trailer was fantastic.
Yeah,
like it got me so pumped. But as we know, Suicide Squad, you can have a fantastic trailer and the movie can just tank in all the wrong or in all the right places where you're expecting it to. But yeah, it was okay. I can't, it's not the word. Dumbo, I think, was way worse. And honestly, I think even the Lion King, I don't know if this is worse than the Lion King or not. I honestly, I would say they're more equal, if anything. I cannot put one over the other because it is just wow. But how many Disney remakes have you seen so far?
How many have there been?
Well, there's been oh my gosh, we had Beauty and the Beast. I thought that was okay. It was probably one of the better ones. Of course, we had Aladdin, Lion King, Mulan.
Yeah, I did not see Beauty and the Beast, but I'd definitely say Aladdin was the best by far.
I think Aladdin was the best. And I think, and I guess with Aladdin, what they changed, they gave Jasmine a song, and, which I thought was really, really good. And of course, you get Will Smith. He's just charismatic, his charisma is all over the place. I definitely think Aladdin was probably the best one. But it's I don't know. This one is a bit. It's tough for me to pin down, but like I said, I don't think it's as bad as everyone said it was. Because like there were parts I really enjoyed with she's learning how to fight, and the fact that they actually put in that. Oh, like all the, the soldier men, they bathe together, and obviously she can't bathe with them. So like, she just doesn't bathe at all. and they're like, oh, like you really, really smell. I'm like, okay, I thought that was a nice little touch instead of having her, you know, sneak out every single night and stuff, because obviously someone was bound to know. But, you know, when she does, I was like, okay, some things you could kind of be like, yo, is this a girl? Or it doesn't really seem like the type of person who would be in this situation. But yeah, it was okay.
There were also
like,
some weird like near nudity scenes. It just didn't feel like it's
yeah. Oh yeah. When she
like
she kind of gets freaked
camera,
out, and
the camera like stops right before.
literally right before. Yep.
It was weird.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, when she finally decides to take a bath, and God, I forgot the guy's name already. Who's, I guess, kind of like the love interest. I guess one thing I really did appreciate is that, you know, it wasn't this like the generic love story. Like, obviously there was something between her and oh my gosh, what is his name? Let me look it up on IMDb. No, let's see the full casting. Was it Donnie Yen? No, that was Commander Chung. Borakan? Nope. I'm drawing a blank on his name, and I do apologize, everyone. But you know what I'm talking about, Devin, right? Like,
As far as the
one of the main soldiers who, you know, vouches for Mulan, and, you know, after they find out she's a woman and whatnot.
I didn't really catch any of the names.
Yeah, I didn't catch his name either. But, you know, they kind of teeter on, oh, like maybe, you know, there's something there, but it wasn't like, oh, and they fall in love and everything's okay. Like, you know, but I really do like how they, you know, when obviously Mulan saves the Emperor's life, when they add a new virtue to the meaning of, I guess it was war, and, you know, it was part of family. In, you know, oh, you know, Mulan is wants they want Mulan to be a part of, like, you know, the Emperor's like personal guard or whatever, and she's like, oh, like that's great, but, you know, family's more important to me. And that, I like that message of the film. I thought that was a really, really nice touch. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it was all right. Like, it didn't blow my socks off, but I wasn't like, wow, this really blows. Because I still haven't seen New Mutants yet. I'm still waiting. I'm just waiting for it to go on sale so I can see how bad this film really is. But yeah, Mulan, it was okay. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, no, I don't think I had anything else.
Okay. Yeah, it was all right. I mean, it's definitely forgettable. But I mean, I'm sure Disney's going to be making money with this through the, you know, streaming service anyway. Probably more so with Soul. Definitely have to you know, talk about that one when the time comes. But did you want to get into scores then?
Oh yeah, movie that has no soul.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So out of 100, I'll go first. I'm just gonna give it I'm gonna give it a 50 out of 100. Like,
that's
it was kind of like a glass. What's up?
That's pretty low.
Yeah, I know. I really didn't want to, because I really wanted to like this. Like I said, the trailer really pumped me up. But there just wasn't enough backstory. Like, I wish we had a little bit more backstory with the witch and whatnot. But it kind of it fell flat there. But I'm giving it like a glass half full type of feel, because there are parts that I did enjoy. But overall, it's not a movie that I would go back and watch myself. But I would recommend people to watch it if they're just browsing through the catalog. It's on there. You might as well. You know, there's a lot of other things on there that I know people probably wouldn't even think about watching unless it was on one of those streaming services, which is so great about these services, is that you can find new things that you may or may not like, and, you know, you can kind of hone in your taste from there. But what would you give Mulan, the remake, out of 100?
I'm gonna go with a 40.
Oh,
just didn't do it for me.
Killing me. Killing me, Smalls. All right, 40 it is. That's I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair, man. So yeah, that pretty much covers our review here. Of course, everyone, thank you for listening in on our delayed Mulan review. Well, I guess it's not too delayed because it is still 2020. So, but thank you all for listening. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to us on the podcast platform of your choosing, and make sure to check out the other shows on the Drive-In Podcast Network over on the Music City Drive-In website at musiccitydrivein.com. The link will be in the description of this podcast. And I believe, what are we reviewing next? I'm not entirely sure, but we do know that the Game Awards is coming up.
Yeah, that's in 2 days. So we have that.
That's coming out Thursday, of course. So did you want to do a news story this week, Devin? Or did you kind of just want to just cover the Game Awards all the same? But I wasn't sure.
We can drop a couple of the big stories and focus mostly on the Game Awards.
Yeah, we'll do more of a big story type thing, because as of this recording, there's some big news that's
mostly
definitely dropped out there.
News.
Yeah, a lot of Spider-Man news and more Warner Brothers news as well. A lot of and Nolan news, of course. So yeah, we'll probably be focusing on that. Well, we'll have to figure out a day to do it for the Game Awards coverage, but yeah, we'll keep everyone posted, of course. And obviously, if you are a big His Dark Materials fan, my friend Griffin and I have been plowing through season 2. There's 4 episodes up right now, so if you're just new to the series, definitely check those out. Of course, those are spoiler heavy. I believe we have 3 more episodes left of the series, according to my calculations, but definitely check that out. And of course, check out our other reviews that we have done. I think our previous review we have done on the channel is the Lego Holiday Star Wars special. And of course, check out some of my written reviews over on the Music City Drive-In website. So yeah, that pretty much covers it. That was Devin. My name is Christian, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.